Okay, so today we're diving into the wild story of BitMine Immersion Technologies, stock ticker BMNR. This company's journey has been an absolute masterclass in market extremes. We're going to unpack the tech, the insane media hype, and the actual financial data behind one of the most volatile stocks out there.
Let's just start at the very bottom. At its lowest point in the last year, you could have picked up a share of BMNR for just $2.20. Keep that number in your head. Because in that same 52-week period, the stock also rocketed up to $161. That is an unbelievable leap. We're talking a gain of over 7,000%. A surge like that doesn't just get attention, it creates an absolute frenzy. So the big question is, how on earth does this happen? What kind of forces can possibly send a stock on such an unbelievably extreme ride? Well, that's exactly the mystery we're going to unpack right now. To even begin to understand it, we've got to look under the hood at the company itself. So let's kick things off by getting into BitMine's technology.
So, the company at the heart of all this is BitMine Immersion Technologies, Inc. And their main business, the first piece of our puzzle, is Bitcoin mining. Pretty straightforward so far.
But it's how they do their mining that really sets them apart. They use this technique called immersion technology. See, Bitcoin mining rigs generate a ton of heat, like an insane amount. So what BitMine does is they literally submerge their computers in this specialized non-conductive oil. It's basically like giving these super hot computers a continuous cooling oil bath to keep them running at absolute peak performance.
And their business model is built on three main pillars. First, they mine Bitcoin for themselves, for their own accounts. Second, they actually sell their specialized immersion-cooled hardware to others. And third, they offer hosting services, where they manage the equipment for other miners. It's a pretty smart, diversified approach to the whole crypto mining world. So, the tech is definitely unique, no doubt about it. But innovative technology alone almost never creates a 7,000% stock surge. For that, you need a really powerful story, which brings us to the hype and the headlines.
And this is a big one. I mean, when a superstar investor like Cathie Wood, through her firm ARK Invest, starts buying up shares, the entire market sits up and pays attention. This headline shows her firm not just buying, but doubling down. That signals some serious confidence, and it can create this massive wave of follow-on interest from tons of other investors. Then, the story got another huge boost. An influential analyst started talking about the intersection of AI and crypto, and began dropping comparisons to giants like NVIDIA and Palantir. All of a sudden, BMNR wasn't just a Bitcoin story anymore. It was now linked to the single hottest trend in all of technology: artificial intelligence. And finally, you have the price of Bitcoin itself. When you have influential voices like Tom Lee making these massive predictions, like Bitcoin exploding to $200,000, it creates this powerful tailwind for the whole industry, right? If Bitcoin's value is going to skyrocket, then companies that mine it, like BitMine, are suddenly seen as having just enormous potential. Okay, so we've seen the tech, and we've definitely felt the buzz. But what do the hard numbers actually say? Let's try to ground this whole story by decoding the key stock data. And the data, well, it reveals a pretty big disconnect. The market cap hit a massive $7.74 billion, but then you look at the PE ratio. It's negative. All that means is the company isn't actually profitable right now. So you've got a multi-billion-dollar valuation on a company that is currently losing money, all set against that backdrop of the extreme volatility we saw earlier. This is a classic sign of a market that's valuing the story way more than the current financial reality. So, what do we actually get when we put all of these different pieces together? Let's connect the dots between the crazy volatility, the cool technology, and all that buzz.
So here's the story of BMNR in a nutshell. You start with some genuinely innovative technology, a unique solution to a very real problem in crypto mining. Then you layer on some seriously powerful hype, fueled by celebrity investors and irresistible buzzwords like AI. And the result of that mix is this volatile reality, a stock with a sky-high valuation for a company that isn't even profitable yet.
And all of this leaves us with the critical question at the very heart of this story. Is BMNR the start of a genuine tech revolution, or is it a classic, hype-fueled bubble, just being driven by a powerful narrative? For now, the market is still trying to write that answer.